Right folks, how you doing? Hope you're all well. Nipped out for a little spin on Moose. Haven't been out for about 5 months, maybe 6 months on him now. Mainly because it was winter and there's a lot of salt on the road. But I thought, seeing as I still haven't made it for this test ride, and it's not going to be in a little 390cc sized bike, I thought I'd better get some miles in. And it feels rapid after running about in the Svartpilen. It's not a big bike, but compared with that little thing, you're kind of cruising at speeds that you're trying hard to get to on the Svartpilen. You notice the step up, you notice the extra weight, and God, I feel really rusty as well. I can't remember ever having felt quite that rusty before coming back from winter. So you'll have gathered from those comments that I still have not been for the test ride that I said I was going to go on. Because literally a week after I made that last vlog, I went down with COVID, so couldn't get out, and then winter returned after that lovely weather we had. We went back to winter, we had a bit of snow, sleet, lots of salt back down on the road, so there was no way I was taking Moose back out on that. And then because I'd mucked up Mrs. 01's birthday, I made that up to her. We both went off to Portugal to the MotoGP for a long weekend, which was pretty bloody awesome. I've been to Donington before, and Catalonia, Barcelona I've done 4 times, maybe 5, but yeah, certainly 4 times. It was weird travelling again, felt really wrong, you know, like you were doing something naughty. But yeah, lovely track. It's like if you've ever been to Catalonia, it's very like that on a slightly smaller scale. But from our seats in the grandstand, we could see probably a good third of the track. And obviously you see them nailing it down the start finish out of that flowing fast last corner, then dropping into corner 1. You kind of lost sight of them for a wee second until they popped out the other side of that. Such an impressive track, even with the crappy weather we had for the first 2 days. If you watched the race, you'll have seen that it chucked rain, it was torrential. It was quite, well, it wasn't quite cold, it was very cold with it. It was like being back here in Scotland. So yeah, first 2 days, mental. It was actually blew my mind how fast those guys were travelling around corners, how low they were getting, and then how fast they were going down the straight on those rain tyres. It's absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, you could see them. There's a slight, well, it's not, it's a, they've got quite a large rise up on the start finish in Portugal at Portimao, and yeah, you could see them squirming for traction on the way, you know. It's just absolutely amazing, just keeping it pinned. That was in Moto3 all the way to MotoGP, absolutely amazing. So definitely a track I'm going to visit again. We had a good setup, a few things wrong with it. I'll kind of go into that just in case any of you plan on going. I'm not going to gloss over it and say it's amazing, there's no problems there, because there are a few. I'll do this back road, just keep the speeds down, makes it easier for you to hear me. Yeah. Which So getting there was quite straightforward. I could fly directly from Scotland. Hired a car, which was lucky because we took a trip directly from the airport to the track just to do a dry run for the following day. And it's as well we did, because we kind of presumed that we could buy parking tickets. We already bought our tickets online for the grandstand, which are very reasonable, and you can actually save yourself a bit of money if you don't order them through MotoGP directly, but through the track you can save a bit of money. I believe the locals think the tickets are expensive, and they quite possibly are for them, but I thought they were quite reasonable. So yeah, as I say, we made our way to the track and had hoped to purchase parking ticket there, but they've got a strange setup. They have ticket offices, but they won't actually sell you them there. You have to go into Portimao itself, into the heart of Portimao, down to the museum at the marina. Now, I can totally understand why some of the feedback I've heard on podcasts and things like that were slating them for it. I totally get why people would be peed off. I was lucky. The apartment that I'd booked was, well, it was just like a 5-10 minute walk to the marina, so it was no big deal. Could go down there, sit in a cafe and have a coffee or a beer anyway while we're at it. But if you were staying on the other side of town, out of town, and you hadn't bothered to rent a car, that's going to be a proper chore for somebody. And yeah, you needed that ticket displayed on your car windscreen to get anywhere near the track. The next morning, so first morning would have been Friday testing, warm-ups. The cops were dotted all over the countryside, so SatNav for us took us on a back road, and I was literally half an hour from door to door. But on the way there, they were keeping an eye out to make sure you had your ticket displayed, and if you didn't, you were just getting pulled aside. If you had one, put it on. If you didn't, then about turn, go get one, or forget about coming back. They weren't letting people abandon cars at the side of the road. I get why they do that, but you know, if folk are going to the circuit, they're expecting to be able to buy the ticket there. They could have a waiting area while they're picking it up, or you know, if you're there a day or two before, it would make sense that you could buy these tickets from the circuit, not just that one place in town. But the main thing I heard people complaining about, and I totally get that as well, because it happened to me, was that they were taking anything that you had in your rucksack, was basically chuck it in the bin or go back to your car and put it in there. So it was things like food. So a lot of people you could see turning up with little backpacks or trolleys with their lunch for the whole family in there. Sorry, can't take that in, put it back to your car. Now we were lucky because we'd paid to be right at the grandstand, so it was, yeah, a couple of minutes each way for me when I get sent back with my chicken wrap. But there were some people had a fair old trek to get back to where they'd parked up the hill, and the weather wasn't great either, so yeah, they were turning you away if you had food, even water, unless it was like a minuscule amount, a tiny little bottle, they were letting that in. And I'd got back thinking, right, okay, I've dumped my food, I've dumped my water in the car, only for another guy to check me, and he wasn't having it, the fact that I had a power bank with me. Who doesn't go for a day away nowadays with a power bank, especially if you're planning and taking video with your phone, or like me, taking video and watching BT Sport at the same time just to get my commentary through there. So I was a bit miffed with them for that. Yeah, I saw so many reports of that, so I'll not gloss over that. Be aware if you do decide to go that security will probably send you back to your car if you've got any grub with you. They're forcing you to buy the grub that they have on offer. Now, saying that, the grub itself, you've got a half decent choice, you know, usual burgers, pizza, hot dogs, baguettes, stuff like that, sweeties, crisps, coffee, beer, soft drinks, all that sort of thing. Very, very reasonably priced for me, but again, you know, the locals were saying it was quite expensive for them. So yeah, they got the double whammy. They got sent back to the car with their stuff and here pay more for the stuff that we've got on offer. So I thought that was quite underhanded. The security were, they were all really polite, but I'm doing their job, but I thought it was a bit crap. The circuit just obviously trying to make some extra money. The other thing they were doing is if people were standing on the grandstand or in the seating, they were getting them to sit down, getting their attention, which I personally didn't think was a bad thing, because I'm there to watch the race, and if everyone stands up to see something, then in the end nobody sees anything, do they? It's easier if we're all sitting down, so didn't have an issue with that, although I could see a few people were biting, they weren't happy about it. But yeah, awesome circuit. The grandstand itself, we were higher up, so we paid for good seats. We could see a good third of the circuit from there. There were a couple of screens on the top of the pit lane that we could see, but they were at a funny angle. Made it difficult to see what was happening with timings and things like that, so I was heavily relying on my BT Sport app, which was obviously a bit of a delay, but it was better than nothing. They'd score big time with me if they put in a similar tower to the one that was in Catalonia, with all the live times, your positions and that. They've got a couple of good places on the circuit they could put that, and a lot of people will be able to see it. Or either that or they put in more screens. But all in all, amazing circuit, great venue. I was surprised how little time it took me to get from the circuit back into town. Portimao, I thought it would take ages, even on race day. It wasn't bad at all. Just had to be super aware of motorcycles passing you in strange places. They're not shy. While we were at the circuit, the afternoon we arrived and we were trying to get our parking ticket. I was just saying to the missus, oh look, quite a few cars here, hire cars. I bet some of these belong to riders and teams. We saw the Pramac mechanics kicking about, getting out of their car, and then literally I just said that, turned left. There's George Martin getting out of his hire car, getting his bag out of the back of the car with a couple of mates, and it kind of made that eye contact thing, and I thought, he's looking at me going, shit, this guy's going to ask for an autograph or something. But I just thought with the whole COVID thing and everything, I didn't want to put him in an awkward position, so I just gave him like a nod, and I got a friendly wave back, which was pretty cool, you know. It's in the old memory bank. See him again, bumped into Joe McPhee at the airport when we were getting ready to head home. Him and his lovely girlfriend, they were super nice. Again, didn't bother with photograph there. Yeah, I didn't want to draw any more attention to the guy, although it was hard not to see with his Husqvarna backpack and cap. At first I did think he was a fan, and then I had a double take and thought, that's Joe McPhee. So yeah, lovely experience. Food there was awesome. Found a cracking little restauranty place. The name escapes me. I don't know why I've been telling everyone about it all week, but Dolce Vita, that was it, Dolce Vita. An Italian restaurant in Portugal, but yeah, it sold all the local stuff too. But we were lucky, we got there sort of late afternoon, early evening, and just got a table. And before we left, that place was hoaching. It was, every table was taken, there was a queue outside, and they were so nice. They just, you know, kept serving you. There's no rush to throw the next dish in front of you, even although they had people outside. There was no rush to get rid of you and get the next group of people in. Food was awesome, so thoroughly recommend Dolce Vita if you are, if you ever make it along to the race. Have a look on Google Maps, it will show up there. Alright, so yeah, after getting back onto Moose today, you really notice that fueling at town speeds. It's better with the booster, but compared with the little Husqvarna, which is just so sorted, really feels quite snatchy. So take a little while to dial in, and yeah, I need a few more runs. So I was just taking my time today, make sure I was happy with it. This is the first time he's been out since I had service at the end of the year as well, so but yeah, just feel a bit rusty on him, and kind of thought, alright, I promised myself I'll take my time today, behave myself. I think that my GoPro's working okay now. Literally 2 days after I put out my Moni video about GoPro's not working, there was a new firmware update come out, and I've used it a couple of times since then for Svartpilen and things, and it seems to be working fine. So they've obviously been watching my videos and taking everything on board, because, you know, I've got such a huge following that it just makes them look bad, you know. And Team 01 gets behind me. I forgot to put my earplugs in when I stopped, put the cameras on, and you fairly notice the burble in the Acra when you've not got them in. And also I keep forgetting to use my quick shifter because I don't have one in the Svartpilen. The first sort of few miles away from home I was using the clutch. Right, anyway, see you soon hopefully, take care. Whoa, 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 where are you going? I've not finished yet. I totally forgot that the Svartpilen is in for an MOT this morning, and I thought I may as well tag that onto the back of the vlog I started making yesterday. So the MOT, for anybody who's not from the UK, is like the Ministry of Transport certificate. It's an annual certificate. You're required to run your vehicle on the road if it's over 3 years old, I believe. So the first couple of years are freebies if you get a brand new vehicle. So hopefully the Svart gets through there okay. I think these tyres are borderline. I really do need to pull the pin on new ones, because from what I'm seeing online, and on 44 Teeth in particular, they're saying that tyre prices are going to go through the roof with the conflict in Ukraine, because Russia supply carbon black for most tyre companies. I still haven't made my mind up whether I'm going for the Pirelli Scorpions that are on it already, or the Mutants. The Mutants are a good bit more road biased, good at coping with rain, and obviously these Scorpions, I've got used to them now. I didn't like the feeling when I first went out, but I haven't gone out with that 2 lads on broken up back roads. Kind of got my head round them, and they're a fair bit cheaper, but ooh, false neutral. But yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I need to make my mind up. I'll probably go for the Mutants just to try them, and then if they're crap or not suitable for what we do when I'm out with them, I'll change them back the next time around. So yeah, and then last night, oh my god, the MotoGP news. Suzuki pulling out at the end of the year. I can't believe that. They're doing so good. Honestly, that's like the Yamaha used to be. It's just the all-round package. I can't believe they're leaving, but like I say, they've got bills to pay, I'm sure. Things aren't cheap just now anywhere in the world, and yeah, you have to tighten the old purse strings. It's not a big company, are they? Just make a few cars. It's not like Honda or Kawasaki. You've got massive industry behind them. It's still surprising though. I can't actually believe that. 2 of the best riders on the grid on their day, and the rumours are that Mir's already signed for Honda, so Paul will be getting binned. Rins, I wonder where he'll go. He'd make a good replacement for Vinales at Aprilia, wouldn't he? I don't know if he'd be keen to go to Yamaha to replace Dolby. Paul might go there. That's really mixed things up. Just when you think things are going to settle down, you know, Quattararo's going to sign back up for Yamaha and everything will fall into place. But yeah, just shows you. So yeah, Aprilia are going to have to. They've lost their concessions for next year, so maybe they'll get a bit of help from Dorna or encouragement to add 2 more bikes to the mix, a satellite team to help things out, because we need more Ducatis, don't we? Yeah, shocking news that. Right, anyway, I'm nearly there. I'll pop back if all being well with this MOT. If not, it'll be the first walking vlog I'll have done. I'll have to hitch it home. Right, that's the MOT done. Stopped for some fuel. That horrible E10 is the only choice. I hate putting that on the bike, but that's all I had. So yeah, no issues at all with the MOT. Tyres still good for a few miles apparently. Yeah, so all good, and that just goes to show that LV10 is plenty good enough and quiet enough to get you through your UK MOT without any issues. Guy was quite impressed with the bike. He'd never seen one before. Tyres are definitely next on the hit list. I have a tail tidy ready to go. I didn't want to risk putting that on when it came in the other day, just in case I botched it up. I'd rather get through the MOT first and then do that. No need to rush into changing that. You're going to go, aren't you? And then, whoa mate, that would have been expensive. Maserati, let's go. It's so much fun, this thing. The new one's got quick shifters, I believe. This would be a weapon with a quick shifter.